Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Wherever you're tuning in from, welcome back to the channel. My name is ASFM. I hope you've had a lovely couple of days. Welcome to season 4, episode 3. Believe it or not, we're really racking through these episodes, and we have the last two games of our preliminary season in the Bulgarian First League. God, I had to take my time a bit there, but so where are we? So obviously we had a couple of issues last episode with recording of the episodes, and it really messed up with how I was going to plan this season and the way we were moving forward. But in terms of this season, I think it's gone phenomenally well. And as I show you the competitions on the main screen here, we're currently sat in seventh place. Sorry, we're on 33 points, and we have the potential to get into the championship group if we win the next two games. Now, these next two games are tremendously difficult. They're going to be really tough challenges, as it's Barui and Botev as our last two games of the episode here. And what I'm going to show you is the competition schedule. Sorry. So we played, our last game was the Bulgarian quarterfinal against Levski, and from that point onwards we sort of haven't really hit much in form. So what I'm going to do, obviously, because the camera's up here, my main screen here, so I'm going down to the main screen. So we played against Lokomotiv Sofia. We lost that 2-1, unfortunately. Yislav Zakui came in and he scored, and unfortunately it wasn't enough to get us the 3 points. Then we came up against CSK 1948 and we beat them. We blew them apart. We won 2-0. It was a fantastic performance. Yordanov and Stanchev on the score sheet getting us through. Then again, we came up against Ludogorets and Nikolov was just dominant this game. We went on and we won the game 2-0. Then we had like pre-season, then we had sort of mid-season friendlies. Won both of them, which was really good to see. And then we came up against Slavia Sofia. We got a player sent off and we lost that game ultimately. And then we came up against Levski, had a player sent off early on, and oh my god, I thought this game was going to be a lot more than 4-1. I thought it was going to be like 7-1. The amount of highlights they had was just unbelievable. Then we came against Lokomotiv Plodvid, and it was good to end that sort of losing streak. We were really sort of getting towards not really trying to capitalise. And then obviously we went and beat Etar 4-1, Burakov with 2, Yordanov and Stoev also on the score sheet. Really good all-round performance. Then we came up against Arda and we beat them 1-0, which is brilliant to see. Burakov again on the score sheet. And our last game was Minyul Pernik, and Burakov scored and they scored late on. Sorry, but what I'm saying is that this episode is potentially a huge chance for our first time in our league. Sorry if I move in a bit more. Our first time in the league to actually go and potentially move into the championship spot. So the championship pot is currently occupied by Chernomor and Minyul Pernik. Now, Minyul Pernik and Botev also, I think Botev are on, if I have a look, 4th place. They're on 39 points. Minyul Pernik on 36, and we're on 33. So this season's going to be a bit challenging, obviously, to try and hit those top spots. And for us to get through, we're really going to have to, maximise the goals and really take our chances in these next two games because they're going to be tough. But in terms of our development centre, I think loans out have been phenomenal, have done really well. A lot of players having quite a fair amount of game time. So Kostov has just done absolute bits for Sazopol. He may not be, he's joining Arda on a free. I didn't realise that. Great. He hasn't really developed very well, but he's got himself 50-something appearances for Sazopol and became a real sort of key player for them. Then we have Balanov. He was on loan at Lokomotiv Gorna. Had a good season, 1 goal, so not bad for him. Pretty decent as a centre-back. Obviously, he's just sort of a backup centre-back that I wanted to get off on our... I think I just wanted him gone from our wage budget. The next player was Georgio Yordanov. He's gone out on loan, and he just has not hit form. He's been really poor on his loan at Lokomotiv Plodvid. He just cannot score. I said that in the previous episode. He just can't score for shit. He's so crap. And he's really struggling. And the issue is that it's acceleration that just is not good enough for this league. And then there are just 2 other ones were just some youngsters who got sent out on loan. But ultimately, in our under-19s, we have some players who are coming through with quite a lot of potential. This chap here, he's a Igor. He's phenomenally doing quite decent. Obviously, he's second league level, but he's consistent, which is good to see, and he's very brave. So that's good to see as a player coming through, because we really sort of need someone who's a bit more consistent. His crossing's fantastic as well, and he's a realist, so he'll just keep improving. Then the next one is another midfielder. These are the guys out on loan, and the only other player is the other right back, which is Borisov, who again, he's just developing, so that's perfect to see. And obviously our finances, we're at 7,500. We're on about nearly up about £800,000, and our payroll is just shy. It's just pretty much just over 10,000. So 10,000 a week isn't actually that bad for our club. As a lot of our money is coming through on sponsors for next season. So obviously we go into this one still playing that 4-3-3. I'm going to have to change our goalkeeper Vassal for Simic, and this is what we're playing. So we're playing Nikolov in that Medzala, Dimitrov in a deep line playmaker, and Orachev as an advanced playmaker. They're the players controlling the midfield. Then we've got Steph in that enganche role, really sort of connecting midfield and attack. We've then got Burakov and Stanchev up top. And Stanchev and Burakov have been playing fantastically well together. Then we've got Ilev and Richard on the fullback positions on attack. Stoev and Kirchev as both centre backs, potentially. Stoev is a ball playing defender, and Simic in goal now from the change. And it's going to be a really, really tough game. I have to admit, it's going to be really. Oh, Stoev doesn't play well in that position, right? He's going back to that one. It's going to just be tough, and I think we're going to have to maximise on really sort of scoring early on, I think, in this game. So 4 players lacking with tactical familiarity. I think that's just from players just on the bench. But hopefully we really need to ensure that we win this game, because I think if we win this, we actually can go into the top spots, which is huge for this club. Now, we go into the dressing room. I'm going to point my fingers and say, come on, show me guys what you have. I'm going to point to the defenders and say, I've got faith in you. Midfielders, same again. I'm going to say I've got faith. And attackers, I've got faith, because these players need to bloody know they're going in for a big game here, because we've got 2 games left this season and hopefully can. So we've come in with 2 wins, 2 draws and a loss. And they are probably going to be coming in with I think they've been doing really shit this season. So I think they'll be coming in with quite a lot of losses. Yeah, 2 losses, a draw, 2 draws and a win. So they're not really having the best of season Barui this year. But here we go. This is huge. First game of the episode here, and hopefully we can come away with a big win at home, actually, against Barui, which is a big one. But I'm really enjoying this episode. If you are too, please give a big thumbs up and make sure you've subscribed down below. I'm on about 33 subscribers at the moment, so it'll be good to see if we can start building that up and start, hopefully. I really want to see by the end of potentially April, to try and see if we get about 50 in. So here we go. Let's go again. Our first highlight is going Barui's way, and Rendilo is coming forward. He's got past 1, and they've scored, and that's it. It's 1-0. We're down by 1-0. In 28 minutes in, Barui have scored, and wow, that was quick. I'm going to have to encourage the boys, because we just have not been very well. We've just not been playing very well recently, and I'm going to have to man mark him as the tables are starting to turn, and I'm going to have to point my fingers and expect you much better performance second half, as there's just been one highlight and it's gone Barui's way and they've scored it, and we just cannot seem to dictate a game. We just don't seem to get ourselves in the front foot. And here comes Stanchev firing a ball in, and he's hit the crossbar. And, well, there we go. That's probably our only... As I just don't think we're pushing forward enough. I mean, both of our fullbacks are on attack. I'm going to take off Stanchev for Yordanov. I'm going to give a pep talk, point my fingers. I've got faith in you all. Confirm that sub. And we've got to keep going as we are 58 minutes in. Well, the game carries on here, and we're in the 62nd minute, and we really need to start pushing forward here, as it just isn't going our way. Simonov's going to come on. We just cannot seem to get a foothold in this match. I'm going to have to change a few tactics. I'm going to send Burakov forward. I'm going to have you as a poacher and confirm those changes, sorry. And we just really are not doing very well here. And I'm going to have to... Oh, what do I do, guys? Because I kid you not, we're just not playing very well. Going to have to switch you out for Koulibaly. Oh, there's just nothing going on, is there? Simonov, why are you even playing in midfield? I have no clue. Did I accidentally click that? Right, well, Simonov, you're going there. Richard... I've literally put someone on who can't. Oh my god. Okay, give me a moment. Let's have a look. I've brought someone on who doesn't even play. Right, well, I'm going to have to push these guys up. Can you go as a wing-back on attack? You can. You can go as a wing-back on attack. So we're playing pretty much a 2-5-1-2. I'm going to have to say I've got faith. Confirm the substitutes. And we've got to keep going here. So we've got to try and get ourselves out. I'm going to have to berate these players, but something tells me nothing's going to change here. And, well, there you go. That's going to be our game. First game of the episode over. That's going to be Barui, and Jesus Christ, that's been absolutely appalling. We haven't done anything. Look at some of these ratings, man. Oh, I can't get this team to perform. Literally cannot get this team to perform at any level, apart from just being mediocre, and it's pissing me off. As we're currently in season 4, and we've literally, yeah, we're an established team, but we just can't seem to move. We can't move forward. We're stuck in the same position, and we just cannot seem to move in the right direction, which is potentially meeting those targets of going into Europe again. And this is the issue that I've been having with this team, is that they're just not performing, and that's really annoying and difficult to see, as it can really, you know, obviously in this episode is that it's really starting to sort of turn players' heads when they sign contracts. And obviously with Burakov as well, he's thinking about moving to a bigger club. And to be fair, you can't really say anything, because he hasn't. You know, Stanchev's not performing. Neither is what's his name, Yordanov. He's not doing well enough. I mean, he's got a good relationship with Steph as well, and Burakov up top. Burakov this season has actually done fairly well, to be fair to him. 10 goals, 5 assists, and you know, we've started our first episode of season 4, episode 3 with a loss, but we're still not out of this. You know, we've got a game to play at the final end of the season, and potentially we have a way of getting ourselves into 6th spot, I believe. No, we have no chance of getting in. Great. Oh, we're 7th place. We're going to be 7th. Oh, that is a bastard. That is harsh. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward the next game, and we're going to be playing that BATE game to hopefully get ourselves into mid-table. What I'm going to do is, obviously, with that game, I'm going to play the BATE game with you on camera, and then I'm going to basically go to the final end of the game of this season, and hopefully we can try and dictate whether or not we're going to be staying in 7th place. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward, and we're going to be playing the BATE game. So don't go anywhere, and hopefully you have enjoyed that first game. Obviously, it's not the result we were intending, but it still means that we can get ourselves into a top priority position of 7th place. So what I'll do, I'm going to fast forward, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Well, welcome back everyone to the second game here on my channel against BATE. Got some fantastic news. We can go over to the under-19s, because we've had that beautiful response from the under-19s, and we have our youth candidates, and here they are. We have 2 good players potentially in this setup. We have basically, I think I'm only going to be taking these 3, as I think basically it slacks off from Alexandrov. So basically our top 3 players is Ivalio Valchev. He is a 6'4" centre back, and a no-nonsense centre back, but he's unambitious. Oh God, no! Oh, come on! I thought that was going to be a fantastic pull-in. I mean, he's going to be in our club, and hopefully he can start to change that mindset. But here he is. So he's got heading of 8, marking of 8, tackling of 14, aggression of 16, work rate of 7. So he's not very work ratey. He's not overall that good, to be fair, looking at him close up. But he comes in, obviously, as a young centre-back. And here's someone that hopefully, 6'2", right-back, can potentially change all of this. And this is, Stoichev. Stoichev, again, is unambitious. And here we have another player that's really he's going to affect his growth and potentially not turn out to be the player that we wanted. As Nikolai Stoichev, he is a right back, and an attack. He doesn't actually look that bad. God damn it. Balance, jumping reach. I mean, he can play as a midfielder or a left back. So he comes in. That was Nokia, 15 years of age. But here is our only saving grace, is Bozidar Zelikazov. He comes in as a resolute keeper, and he's just not very good. But hopefully he can start to improve and come in. So I think realistically out of this youth intake, it hasn't been great. That was what was shown anyway when we had our youth intake preview. It was like it wasn't going to be a very good group of players. The only other one is this Giorgio Salinov player, and to be fair, he's not bad. 16 years of age, already playing. What's his Enganche role like? I mean, he hasn't got that bad. He can be programmed. Well, not programmed. He can be developed into a pretty decent player. His balance just isn't great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward, and obviously I'll sign these 4 players, and hopefully we can start changing the mindsets of Ivrialo and Nikolaya Stoichev, as hopefully getting them back onto being sort of more ambitious. That's very difficult to do in this game. And obviously we're coming into this final game of the preliminary episode, preliminary season, sorry, and I've forgot to mention Steph has gone off injured, and the only player that can really sort of play that role is Nikolov, but Pitu's going to come in and play that position, and hopefully we can start to dictate this game a bit more when we go in and play it, and hopefully go on and win this game, because if we do, this puts us in a really good position for the, I think it's the final of the European Places playoff, which is really important. So I'm going to say, point my fingers at defenders. I've got faith. Midfield, exactly the same. And up front, it is exactly the same. And hopefully, you know, coming up against Botev, we can ensure that we go and get the win here, which would push us straight back to 7th, meaning that Barui would be knocked off that position if Barui don't go on and win against Slavia Sofia. And here we go, a first highlight, 10 minutes in here, Ilev gets possession and Pitu's there. Pitu to Dimitrov, Ilev now is coming forward and Burakov is there to Dimitrov, Ilev to Dimitrov, Dimitrov out wide to Yordanov, and it's gone back to the keeper, and I fear there may be a counter-attack, but Pitu's got the ball, Pitu to Burakov, oh goodness me, Orachev now to Richard, to Kirchev. We're just toying with them here as Ilev comes forward, ball goes out, but it's a penalty! Oh, Yordanov's taken the penalty, come on. Big penalty from Yordanov. He lines up, he shoots, he scores. Get in. It's 1-0 to Lokomotiv Sofia, and we are 1-up against Botev. What am I talking about? 13 minutes in, it says there. But we go up to 7th, which is huge. And it's just such a shame that we haven't been able to capitalise last game, which was so important, as we would actually be in the championship spot this season. And Barui are currently, they're drawing at the moment. And here we go, here's another highlight. And Marquez has gone off, and that's a red card for them. And we're going to be sort of dictating this game now from here on end, as Stoichev can come forward into Lubachev, and Mitrev is there. He's got past his man, and Ilev gets a challenge in, and Lambusi can come forward. But Yordanov's there, and Pitu fires a fantastic ball, but Genchev is there for Botev, and Richard can come claim possession for Lokomotiv Sofia as we come forward. Does piss me off that I feel that we could have gone on and won this game, and actually won the game previously, which was against Barui, or at least drew it. And we are potentially in half-time. We are 1-0 up at half-time here, which is fantastic to see. I'm going to have to outstretch my arms and say I'm absolutely delighted with their performance. And, you know, it's just this issue of not being consistent. I think this is the issue that's pushing us in this position of just this constant season of just basically just being in the same position, and the same position is that 7th place spot. We just cannot seem to break into the top 6 of this league. I can understand obviously with the way that this league is and that sort of thing, but oh my goodness me, Orachev has just scored a fantastic goal set up by Yordanov. And there we are, we're 2-0 up. I think we're cruising as well. I'm going to bring on Simonov for Stoev. But it's that issue of just not being consistent that's really holding back this club. As you know, I'm happy to get mid-table, but I want to be pushing towards those top 6 sections and potentially going on into Europe, because I feel that's where the money is, and that's the only way we can start to really change this overall squad and really make an impact in terms of how we actually move forward and going into this next season in season 5. But I do feel that if we do make our way into the championship group, here we are, we just scored another one, a fantastic ball from Nikolov to get Pitu in, and Pitu scored. And we're 3-0 up against Botev, who are in that championship group. You know, this is the thing, this is the issue. We're beating teams that are very, very good and who are in these top 4 spots. And it's just like we just cannot be clinical enough in the big games when it comes. But we have been this season, and we just bottle it against smaller clubs. But there we are. That's a fantastic game and a really good end to the season, of the preliminary season. Sorry, I'm going to say I'm very happy with your performance. And we've won this game 3-0. Really quite, you know, obviously that red card makes a big impact, but we've done it fantastically well. And this means that we are in 7th spot, I believe, unless Barui haven't won. If Barui have drew, yes, so we are currently on 36 points, stuck in 7th position, mid-table, which is what the board wanted. But the issue is now we really have to try and push forward, as obviously that top 7th spot, sorry, is going to be the European Places playoff final, which is going to be absolutely monumental to this season. I think it's just exactly the same as last season. It's so huge for us to win that, and we have to ensure that we go on to do it. So what I'm going to do, if we get into that European Places playoff final, obviously I'm going to fast forward to that game and play it for you guys on camera. But I think this season's going to have to be quite a quick, rapid season, as we're getting into season 5 and potentially season 6, season 7. But ultimately, I want to make this a bit more. I want to make this save a bit more interesting, and say by season 10, I want to have won the division and potentially try and go for Europe, really, as that's my aim. And I think we should set that as a major target, is that if we get to season 10 and we haven't won anything, I think this has been a bit of a fail of a save, but it's been a learning curve no matter what, and I've 100% have enjoyed making these episodes for you, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode on season 4, episode 3. And if you have, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, as I mentioned before. You know, I'm on 33 subscribers, and I'd love by about April time, potentially March, May, potentially to have that 50 subscribers in. So we're really pushing this this channel up a bit more, and hopefully a lot of other people are starting to see that. So as I've said, we're going to be playing in that European Places playoff final, and if we don't reach that, obviously I'm going to make that clear in the last episode, which will be probably the last 2 games if we don't make it. But I really want to make that, so that's what this episode and this season is really relying on at the moment, because we haven't made it into those top 6 positions. But thank you ever so much to everyone tuning in. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much again, and I will see you all in season 4, episode 4, where hopefully we have that Europlace playoff final.